Well, good morning. I've been debating whether I really want to bring this subject up or not, and I'm going to. The title is When the People Are Seen as Too Stupid. I have heard the ambassador and others say many times how stupid the people are. I've said it myself. Uh, I forgot a letter here. The dragon family, we are told, wants to wage a war on ignorance. I agree. I wish we could all wake up and see all that has been hidden from us for so long. The truth is, however, that there has been a concerted effort by those calling the shots on the planet to dumb us down. We are attacked in many ways to keep us limited and enslaved. How then can we be expected to be smarter and more awake? Is it fair to blame us for living in an environment, in a world waging war on life itself? Here's what I would do if I could. Yes, what would I do? One thing, I don't think it's in anyone's best interest to keep pointing out to people how stupid they are. I know I've done it, and I'm as guilty as the next person of seeing others as ignorant. The ignorant masses. But I meditated more than once on the subject of how I feel when somebody makes me feel stupid or points out how stupid I am. I get defensive. I usually don't take it home. I do sometimes, but I don't always take it home and think, well, yeah, they're right. I really am stupid. I usually disagree and find reasons to disagree. Nobody likes to think that they are stupid, that they are ignorant, that somehow they don't have all their marbles in their head or their act together. It doesn't build us up by tearing us down. It only makes us feel worse and resort to defense mechanisms that don't improve the situation at all. I don't think we should necessarily go around and tell people how smart we are, but we need to find common ground. And we need to be able to communicate on that common ground. That's what I try to do in relationship to religion, for example. I no longer go around trying to convince people that Christianity is the only way, like I did when I was younger and as a fundamentalist. That was a very elemental and not very wise thing to do, because you don't win converts by telling people how wrong their religion is. You just don't do it that way, or at least I don't think that that's a wise thing to do. So I have spent a good deal of my life in more recent years building bridges, trying to find the common ground, trying to find things that should be obvious that we can believe together. I don't speak in terms of you're stupid. I would speak more in terms of we've been dumbed down. There's been a concerted effort by the powers that be, however you want to define them, as spiritual entities or as human entities, however you want to define them. There seems to be a lot of things that are absolutely insane. And I think that most people could agree that there are things that are happening in our world that are not very good. War being one of them. Who wages war? Well, it's the people that control money that have waged war forever. Wars have been the way of it. And funding those wars has been the bankers' thing. So the first thing that I want to change is stop funding wars. Pull the plug on resources that allow war to happen. And I'd stop chemtrails, and I'd stop genetically modifying food. and I'd arrest those that need to be put into place. Now, this is all things that you can do to address the problem. But what about helping the people wake up? If I had all the resources at my disposal, what I would do, first of all, is I would release free energy technologies. I would order massive development of free energy technologies so that everyone in their home could get off the grid, in their vehicles could get off the grid, off the oil industry, and start using these other technologies, and I'd make them available to the people for free. They wouldn't cost a nickel to the purchaser. It would all be funded and paid for by the people's money. All wealth on this world belongs, as I see it, equally to everyone. Equally to everyone. Now, are there controllers? Yes, there are controllers. So we'd have to get the controllers to release the funds to provide the technology to help the problem. I would also release all of the healing technologies that have been suppressed for so long. Release them to the people. Let the people have what they need to heal and to become well. Because as long as people are sick and struggling for their very survival, we are not going to be able to wake up and to be more intelligent and to be more productive and more creative. We have to stop the things that have kept us in the place that we've been. And all of these other technologies can be provided as infrastructure for the planet, infrastructure for the people, to help the people get out of the control grid that has been, unfortunately, the way of it for far too long in our history. Now, I'm in the process of reading the Wingmakers interview with Dr. Neruda, which was just published relatively recently. I didn't finish it yet. It's very long. But he talks about the control grid, and that our creators, or our manipulators, as the case may be, messed with our DNA, messed with us. And that's another thing that needs to be addressed. I don't understand it all. I probably should put the link on this video for those of you that might also want to read the Wingmakers material. I have found that material fascinating when I discovered it many years ago now. Probably, I'm going to say I probably discovered it in 2006 to 2008, sometime in that window. Could have even been earlier than that, I'm not sure. I can't remember if I was in this house then, which would have been 2005, or if it was before I even moved here. And even that's possible. In any case, the Wingmakers material is very fascinating, and if you haven't discovered it yet, I encourage you to discover it. Do I understand all the things that Dr. Neruda is saying? Absolutely not yet. I mean, I'm what? Maybe 25 to 30% through the document. It's a really long document, this latest interview that's been put up. But there's a lot of food for thought there. And gaining knowledge and doing things that will help us increase our knowledge is really important. As the ambassador often says, investigate, investigate, investigate. Of course, it's hard to investigate when the media is controlled. It's hard when the education system is controlled. It's hard when the whole system is set up to limit people in their knowledge. Not everybody even has a computer. And it's hard to do research on a cell phone, even though you have computer access. The cell phone, as I see it anyway, is just too small to do anything reasonable. I don't have a cell phone. I still haven't joined the cell phone generation. And I know they have some nice things. You can make movies with it and take pictures and other things with your cell phone. I don't have that. And I can't imagine looking at a little screen to read things. maybe to listen, but not to read, like I'm doing with the Wingmakers material. So having a computer in the hands of everybody would be something. Now here's the thing. I understand why it would not be good to just give people money. But what about giving people things? Things that can be used to increase our knowledge, our awareness, and encouraging us through various media to utilize these tools, provide the tools, and then teach us and give us information how we can access the technologies. Now, one of the things Dr. Neruda says is that there are two plans to liberate humanity. One is the transhumanist thing, which is combining humans with technology. And that seems to be what I'm describing right now. The other is organic, and it will take place naturally as we tap in, I guess, to the energies that are present on the planet to help us awaken. And they say plus or minus, it's going to happen around 2080 was one of the things that I read as I was reading last night. That's a long time. I don't honestly think the Earth is going to survive if the awakening takes that long to happen. I still see it's going to be another step, and maybe the combining with technology step, which apparently the controllers, that's their plan, is to combine and create a transhumanist human, a new kind of human being that uses technology. Well, maybe that's the step to get to the organic one. I don't know the answer. Again, I haven't finished reading the article. But somehow we have to get resources into the hands of the people if the people are going to wake up. We're going to have to get resources into their hands and let them know that it's available. So it's a communication thing, and let them know how to use it and make it available easily for everyone. So this is what I see as something that is a not without which, or sine qua non, as they say in Latin. We have to, if we're going to wage war on ignorance, it has to be done by providing the tools that are necessary to do it. And the motive. We have to somehow help people see what is at stake. And we need to get beyond leaders that want to keep people from seeing what is at stake. In other words, tell the truth. How many times have you heard me say that? We must tell the truth in our individual lives, but even more importantly, in our collective life, in our life together as humans, as the human family. We need to see ourselves as one. This idea, this religious idea of continuing separation is insane. We are not separate. We are interconnected. There is a single web of life. And if we damage that web, which has been being damaged all the time with the things that are happening in our world today, if we continue to damage that, our chances of survival are much less. We need to at least get beyond our insanity enough to see this idea of one-upmanship, of we are the ones that are the bosses, we are the superior ones. This has to stop. The people that see need to be empowered. The people that are willing to tell the truth need to be empowered. What can we do to wage the war on ignorance? Empower those that are on a path that comes from the place of holisticness or wholeness or true holiness, that comes from a place of integration, not separation, that comes from a place of recognizing that we live together or we're going to die together. Simple stuff to me. Why isn't it simple to everyone? Why are there still those who think that they have to be in charge, that they have to be in control? We need to take the controls out of the hands of those who want to continue to dominate somehow, some way. That control needs to be wrested from them by whatever means possible. And these are just some of the things that I see that would help the war on ignorance, that would help people wake up, that would help everyone, or at least provide to everyone the opportunity to heal and become whole, to become wiser and smarter and more creative. Because this is our value, to be creative people and to deal with the issues that are before us, to heal. I think that's all I'm going to say for now. Thank you for listening, and namaste.